Hello and welcome to the Powerfish Podcast. I'm Fish.
And I'm Ben. And Fish, right off the bat,
Right out of the
moments
gate.
before
even.
this, Fish was about to tell me about something that he sounded really aggravated about Lethal Company.
Yeah.
So get it.
Okay. So it starts with not being aggravated with Lethal Company. It starts with being aggravated with my friend Ryan. Ryan, I know you listen to this.
Right.
You need to shut the fuck up because I swear to God, I know he listens to these, at least some of them. Swear to fucking God, if I text you, text me back. Anyway, so swear to God, this has been happening. So I texted him. I was like, hey, you and the other guy we play games with, you want to play games later? And the other guy's like, yeah, I'm down. Let's go. And then Ryan doesn't text back. And then I'm like, hey, like hours later, like, hey, we playing games tonight? Sees it, doesn't text back. Just now, text back. And he goes, what? And I was like, are we playing games? And he was just like, why? And I was like, because I like you and video games and them together. What do you mean, why? What do you mean, why?
This is going to be a Fish and Ryan drama podcast.
Dude, we're going to
now?
have to get him on and we're going to have to read our text messages. No, so I love Ryan. He's a good dude. But yeah, so he's just like, why? And then so he says, what game? What game would we want to play? And I said, I don't know. I don't even care. It's like, whatever gets you to play, man. And he goes, Lethal Company? I'm sure you guys have heard of Lethal Company. Great game. And I said, yeah. It's great. Here's the thing. Yeah. Here's the thing about Lethal Company. V55 just came out. V55. It's in beta. We all three of us when we play are on the beta. The beta came out, and there is a new entity in the game. There's also a car, which is actually really bad, but it's fine. There's a new entity, a new monster, and it is the Kidnapper Fox. Is the entity?
Is it an actual fox?
It is. It maybe kind of resembles a fox a little bit. Maybe if I edit this, if I remember to, I'll put a picture on the screen for everybody watching on YouTube. It's kind of horrifying looking a little bit, but anyway, so its mechanic, right, is that it travels in these things called vein shrouds. They're like red bushes that grow on these planets that you go to, and it creepy crawlies through these bushes and then snatches you and drags you away and you die. Basically, here's the thing though, we're in the beta. It just came out. And the Kidnapper Fox is way OP. Like it can like this is how I died to it. I realized I didn't have a walkie, so we had just landed and I went to the ship terminal and went to go order a walkie. While I was typing in the first letter into the key terminal, it just runs onto the ship and snatches me. Yeah,
That's crazy.
it is way overpowered.
so it can like run around and chase you?
Kind of, yeah. It mainly sticks to the vein shrouds, like around the bushes that grow. But for whatever reason, the developer allowed it to go up onto the ship and like just snatch you right off the ship, and that's what happened.
That's fricked.
And that happened so many times. So I said to our group chat earlier today, I sent a picture of a changelog for V56. They right after release came out with a new one because people were mad about this update. And they, yeah, as you can imagine. And in there, right at the top, it says, Kidnapper Fox can't go on the ship anymore. So I was like, bet. So I sent that to them and I was just like, hey, they nerfed the freaking Kidnapper Fox. We're good, guys. He's not gonna he can't haunt us anymore. So, or at least to the extent that it was. So fast forward again back to this conversation. I said, he says, are we playing Lethal Company? And I said, yeah, that's great. And he goes, Kidnapper Fox OP, and I don't like him. So he didn't even read my chat from earlier.
Even though he just got nerfed.
Yeah, even though he just got nerfed.
Was that the only thing that made him overpowered? Just that he could get on the ship?
That and the bushes that he spawns in and travels around, they spawn way too much, or like there's way too many of them. Like they just literally just litter the entire ground, so he's everywhere. And then you can destroy those vein shrouds, but you do it with weed killer, like literally a bottle of weed killer. Problem is they're $60 a pop, and you can maybe kill one bush with it, and these bushes are not that big.
Oh, that's
They're really it's not like maybe you can get like 2 or 3 bushes, I don't know, but not enough. So it's like there's no viable way to really take care of this problem. Until now, they reduced the cost of the weed killer, and the fox guy can't go on your ship anymore. So yeah, he got nerfed, and then this dude's just like, I don't want to play anymore. But yeah, no, that's my friend Ryan. Love that guy, great guy.
When is V55? Why would so? Explain to me. Riddle me. Tell me this here now. Why would V55 beta release? They don't like it, and instead of revising V55 beta because it's still in a beta, they release a V56. Why?
You know what? I didn't think about that until just this actual moment that you said that. But that doesn't actually make any sense, because it's definitely still in beta. V55 was in beta. I don't know why they just didn't update V55 beta changelog and just be like, hey, we changed things in the beta because of reactions.
Because it's a beta.
Because that's the point of a beta. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah. I don't know. I guess I never really thought about that.
Well, oh shit. I think PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds was in quote unquote early access for like 3 years, and shoot, there's games on Steam that have been in early access. Another one is called SCP-5K they've been early access for years.
Right.
Years and years and years and years. I think Fortnite was another one of them, where they just never release a 1.0 update. I think the Finals is also another one. Well, that's still a pretty new game. Regardless, like, they do it because I'm pretty sure when you push an update to a fully established like 1.0 title, then it has to be regulated and reviewed by a third party, I believe, and it takes time, and they can't just push out an update day after day after day like they can with an early access or an unreleased title,
right,
quote unquote. So I think that's why they do that. But it's kind of, I mean, a lot of like diehard like SCP-5K. I know you don't know what that game is, but it's like a horror shooter. It's like a realistic style shooter.
Look it up. I'm kind of curious.
And I enjoy the game, except it's a literal buggy mess. Like, it's a buggy disaster. Last time I played it, which hasn't been that recent, but it's a buggy disaster. And it's been in early access for a freaking while. And I swear to God, players that like can't say a bad thing about the game they like will use every excuse to like give developers a pass when they are being stupid. Yeah. And the fact that like say, oh, it's just in beta, don't hate on it type. I hate hearing that shit.
Yeah, that's really stupid.
I hear that all the time with SCP-5K, and I really actually enjoy the game, except the lobbies are screwed. Like, if you try to join a party with somebody, you may or may not get it to work by the time you get annoyed and pissed off to just join a game.
That does annoy me too.
That's annoying.
Like with the whole like, you know, giving developers passes and everything. I do try to give Lethal Company a bit of a pass, because it literally is just the one guy. And it's like his first successful big game.
Is it still just one dude developing the game?
Last I heard, he might have hired people, but when the game, I would hope to God that they like at least somebody is like helping the dude.
Because with the kind of success that game got, he could hire people and have a year's salary banked.
I mean, yeah, he made enough money he could just retire if he wanted to, like right now. And he's like young. He's like in his early 20s, I think, or something like that. That guy's set. But yeah, no, if he wanted to like invest the money he got, yeah, that'd be the next thing, is hiring, you know,
surely
staff.
He's got, I bet he has at least somebody or a couple other people that are helping him develop that game.
I would really hope so. That game's really good though.
Dude, it makes you wonder, games like that can be developed by a literal single individual, and then games like Call of Duty that are developed by literally hundreds of individuals. One is literal shit, trash, garbage for the last 4 years. and one is fantastic. I'll let you guess which one's which, and it's stupid. It's stupid. How is it that is the problem publishers like Activision and Sony and EA? Is that the problem? Is that those are just public companies and they push developers to like make them profitable?
I mean, I've always heard that from people. Like, it's not actually generally the developer's fault. It's generally the publisher's fault for doing, just like you said, those kind of practices.
Dude, oh man, EA's never gonna get out of this hole. When Star Wars Battlefront 2, the remake, came out, not OG Battlefront 2, the remake of Battlefront 2 came out, it was at the height of like loot box systems.
Right.
And it was a literal, actual, straight up, no fuss about it, straightforward, pay to win system.
Dude.
Like just straight up pay to win. The more loot boxes you buy, the more chance you have of getting things that are literally objectively way better than anybody else can get without spending money. Like that I think they got sued over that. It was insane. And
that's wild.
Yeah, they quickly got rid of that. And that kind of stopped the whole controversy over loot box systems. And now pretty much every game still has some sort of random item acquisition system, but very, very rarely is it ever performance or game altering. It's usually just cosmetic shit anymore after that fiasco.
And that's something I'm totally cool with as far as like, you know, free to play games and everything. And obviously they got to monetize something. As so long as it's not pay to win, if it's just like cosmetics, I'm totally cool with that. Like paid cosmetics, you know, let the people that want those things pay for them, and let the people that just want to play the game just play the game.
Yeah, there is though another thing that every game has introduced that I am thoroughly tired of at this point is a battle pass system, or a seasonal content rotating battle pass system. And I'm not a hater of seasonal content. I think a new season every like quarter is great. That's kind of what games did before, except they were just kind of dropped as like DLC packs that you could buy rather than like a seasonal update that just dropped for everybody. But one thing that is still in some way pay to winny with some games is I recently started playing a game called X Defiant, and it of course has a season and battle pass system. And just like as they do, just as every other game, there are weapons, like straight up weapons that have different stats and shit that are in the battle pass. And obviously there's always a free tier and a paid tier of the battle pass. You can get all the tiers of the battle pass for free, but you're only going to get a select few items from the full pass as a free user. And
they like to remind you what you're missing out on at every opportunity.
Oh yeah, every opportunity they show you what you would have gotten if you had the paid pass.
Right.
In every game, which is very annoying. But regardless, there are weapons in these passes that you can buy. You could buy the battle pass for $10 and then just buy all the tiers to instantly level yourself up and get everything that has to offer too. So that also is a thing that I kind of hate. I'm not against having a paid tier of a battle pass system, but I am kind of against being able to buy the tiers for it.
Yeah, no,
I think that's stupid.
That's kind of wild. That's not something. And like I said, I mean, any time, you know, you can get a leg up in the competition by spending money, it's never good. It's not ever good. It ruins the fan base. And obviously, you know, it helps their profitability, but I mean, I don't know. You're just destroying your own fan base because not everybody's going to pay for that. And then the people that maybe would have paid some money down the road, now they're just like, well, I'm not going to play this stupid game anymore. I'm just going to get bulldozed by everybody else that chipped in a couple bucks or whatever. I don't know.
Right.
It's something that I can't get behind. And the battle pass system, you're right. I mean, I've been seeing that a lot more in games. You know what surprises me? I totally get like season passes in most games or like free to play games, but like the paid games, the games you pay for, and then they want you to subscribe to a battle pass. Dude. That's wild.
Yeah.
I'm fine with DLC. So DLC is fine.
Yeah, one of the things when battle passes first started becoming popular, it was really Fortnite that popularized them, as far as I'm aware. Call of Duty Black Ops 3 put a battle pass system into their game, but it was free. Like all the everything about the battle pass. There was no paid tier because the game's $60 freaking dollars.
Yeah, you've paid the paid tier.
Yeah. But that was 9 years ago, back when every quarter they would release a expansion pack for the game for like $15 or whatever. So I think Call of Duty now just does I think they just do all the systems now. I'm pretty sure they still release expansion packs that are paid because you have the option to buy like deluxe editions and stuff at like pre-order them and stuff. They have a free battle pass, they have a paid battle pass, and they have a seasonal content system with a store. Jeez. A cosmetic store. So I'm pretty sure Call of Duty is just all in on raking in money, and the game is $70.
That's the wild part about this. Is that they want more of your money when you gave them 70 actual dollars. That's wild.
Dude, it's crazy. It's crazy. Call of Duty, like I said, it's been little trash garbage the last 4 years. What was it? So Modern Warfare reboot. Fantastic. Great. Game that came after that, Black Ops Cold War. Another banger. What came after that? Modern Warfare 2. No. Call of Duty Vanguard. Worst COD to date. Literal worst Call of Duty game to date. Unanimous answer. Anyone you ask that knows anything about Call of Duty, Vanguard was the worst Call of Duty to date. It's like they had all of their hundreds and hundreds of developers on this game, and none of them cared. No, it was the amount of care that went into that game was so lacking. You could just tell it was built by someone who didn't give a shit about the game. They were just being paid to do a job. It was the opposite of a passion project, is what it felt like playing that game.
Dang. I played that like once. I bought it when I bought my Series X. I think I bought that alongside it because I didn't know. And I kind of agree. I didn't play very much of it, but like from what I played, it kind of just, I don't know.
It was so bland.
It wasn't fun.
It was just lifeless gun shooting. That's what it felt like. It was so bad. Vanguard was literally the worst Call of Duty to date. Modern Warfare 2 reboot. After that, trash, literal trash garbage. It first of all didn't change much from the first Modern Warfare reboot, which if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of approach. But they fixed things that didn't need fixing, and instead of fixing them, they actually broke them. It was just bad.
It's a great analysis.
It was a pretty yeah. It was bad. And along with Modern Warfare 2, they killed off Warzone and released Warzone 2 with all the bad things that Modern Warfare 2 came with. So that got worse too. And then after Modern Warfare 2, 1 year later, they released the same game again. Modern Warfare 3 reboot. Has all the same bad trash from Modern Warfare 2. Yeah.
That's
and it's the same ass game. It's the same game as Modern Warfare 2. And it's just They're releasing recycled trash. Not like Call of Duty's gotten this flack before for releasing the same game every year. But shoot, I mean, looking back, it feels like they were releasing a starkly different game every year compared to what they've been doing lately. So like, but the CEO of Activision, I'm pretty sure was like forced to step down or something like that.
Right.
Because he's a literal actual scum on the bottom of a boot. Not even.
Boot scum.
So, and Call of Duty Black Ops 6 has had, I think, 3 years of development time, which the last 3 games haven't. So, and it's I think the first game that's had most of its development time without the old CEO of Activision. So, fingers crossed that Black Ops 6 is a much needed turnaround for the COD franchise. But
well, I would hope so. You have a lot more experience with the Call of Duty games than I do. I mean, obviously we've played through several of them, and I used to play a couple of the Black Ops games back in the day. But yeah, you seem to have a lot more experience with those than I do. I only played like the first as a younger person. I only played like Black Ops 1 and 2 basically.
I started Call of Duty with the first Black Ops 1, which I think released in 2010. That was my first Call of Duty game, and Modern Warfare 3 was out at the time. I believe I got both of those games at the same time. I mostly played Black Ops 1.
I put some hours into Modern Warfare 3 too, I guess.
Yeah, I mostly played Black Ops 1 at first, and then I moved to Modern Warfare 3. When I say Modern Warfare 3, I'm not talking about the Modern Warfare 3 that I just dumped a shit bucket on. The original Modern Warfare 3, not the reboot. Like, oh man, that might to date. No, it's not my favorite Call of Duty, but it's close. It's up there. I loved Modern Warfare 3. So much fun. The survival mode was so fun. So fun.
Well, what is your favorite Call of Duty game?
Black Ops 3.
That's what I figured. That game's so much fun. And I didn't even when we started playing it, I had no idea like that it was the best one, and I agree. It has like
it's so good.
It's like it's got
one of the best multiplayers in the game. It was the game that came after Advanced Warfare, where they first introduced jetpacks. But in Advanced Warfare, the jetpacks were the majority of the movement in that game. There wasn't a lot of boots on. There was not a lot of running around in that game. It was mostly flying.
That's odd.
And very quick, I mind. Yeah, it was honestly a really welcome attempt at something different. The game did not perform well. Looking back, I think most people look at it with rose-colored lenses now because of what we've been getting recently. But at the time, it flopped because of the movement was just way overblown. And then Black Ops 3 came out and just perfectly refined the jetpack system. It was not overbearing. You weren't flying around quick. You weren't flying around that much. You couldn't go super high. There was no midair dodges and shit. And it was just freaking fantastic. And it had, not only did it have one of the best multiplayers, but the zombies was undoubtedly, indisputably the best.
Objectively.
Objectively. That's my favorite word. Objectively. The best of any of the Call of Duties. The zombies was incredible. The maps were so detail rich. The Easter eggs were freaking engaging and tough. A lot of them were really tough. And they did a Zombies Chronicles, which remastered so many OG maps from the old games.
Right.
They nailed Black Ops 3 so well. So well.
Yeah, dude. Like I said, I never played Black Ops 3 when I was younger, but now going back, like if I just like I don't know what to play, I'll still will boot up like Black Ops 3 and just play some of that.
Oh my god, and they allowed mod tools. And they haven't done that since at all. The last game that had mod tools enabled was COD World at War. I think that was like 2006, 2007 COD. Like, yeah, it was fantastic. The mod tools, there's so many custom maps. They're fantastic. You can literally play in freaking Bikini Bottom or an infinite cheese tower or whatever. Like, yeah.
So why do these game franchises fall apart the way they do?
Dude, I don't know. Black Ops 3, I'm pretty sure, is the best-selling COD to date. Ever. Before and after. And it's still being played because of their good decisions like mod tools. It's still being played. So, like, it's still making sales. Obviously not as much as, newer ones, but...
So why don't these companies, whether it be the developers or the publishers or what have you, why don't they look and say what worked? Why does this work? Or God forbid they talk to their community and they say, what worked? What would you like to see? Why don't they do that? These are life's biggest questions, right here.
I think it's because I don't know. As far as profit goes, I think they're just diving full head into the buy everything model because of gamers that are pussies. Because of stupid fucking gamers that buy this shit.
Yeah.
That just don't have any fucking control, that want to go get mommy's credit card and buy. I think it's because they are, as much as we hate them, just way, way, way more profitable. Because, like, at MSRP, Black Ops 3, the deluxe edition, the Zombies Chronicles Deluxe Edition, which is everything the game has had, all the expansions, is like, I don't know, $100 at normal price. You buy COD now for $70 and you buy 2 skins, you've already passed that.
Yeah.
Their profit, I think, is just through the damn roof with this model. So that's, as far as that goes, I think it's just the gamers that are bitches are just making them way more money than the gamers that aren't bitches. So they're just going to keep doing it.
Well, I mean, that's just kind of a thing in commerce anyway. Is just like profit first, quality experience for your consumer second.
That's just business.
Which, I mean, makes sense, but I mean, it's sad to see, I guess, is the point I'm making.
Not that I have any jurisdiction or insight into what I would be in my mindset if I were the CEO of a $1 billion company like Activision. But, well, I don't even think they're billion. They're lots and lots of million at least.
Wealthy companies.
Regardless, right now, my mindset right now as a not owner of $1 million company is I value making a quality product.
Right.
I value that over making a shit product that makes me more money. Because that is, making a quality product is fulfilling to my being. It's just,
yeah.
It's I don't know. It's certainly how you, in my opinion, would live a happier life if knowing you actually put work into the things that you make.
Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of the creator's mindset is I want to make something, or an artist's mindset maybe. I want to make something that I can be proud of. I want to make something I'm proud of.
Yeah, that's what gives you fulfillment in life, is putting work into something that you're passionate about and making it good. But shit, I mean, if your passion is just making the most amount of dollars as you freaking can, this is the CEOs of companies like Activision, like they get criticized, rightfully so often, for always pushing these profits when it's been like proven a million times over that after a certain amount of money you make, it is simply impossible to be able to spend it. So I think it's like I don't know, a few million, or well, probably more than that. I think it's like some 8-digit number, some like 20, 30, 40 million, something like that a year. And once you make more than that, it makes zero functional difference to even the most insanely luxurious lifestyle of somebody. So like, why do they? Well, I know why. It's because they're a public company and they aren't the only ones making money. It's thousands of shareholders,
right,
that are making money too. That require, man, this is why
it's a whole other conversation is what it is.
When companies go public, things just go to shit. That's just what happens, because now they are literally legally obligated to make the decisions that are going to make them the most profit. Because if not, they literally can be sued by their shareholders. Nobody wants that. But oftentimes those decisions are not in the best interest of the consumer of their product. It's the Raspberry Pi recently went public.
I was just about to ask you,
so
what was
disappointing.
I was just about to ask you, what was that company I was telling you about that just went public recently? And yeah, that was the one. It was Raspberry Pi.
Yeah. And it's so sad. Because they make PC. I had a Raspberry Pi when I was little. Like, I ran Linux off of it, and it was amazing because Raspberry Pis used to be like $15. That was a long time ago, so like even now they're more than that, but they're not much. And Raspberry Pi, I think they put out a statement when they went public saying that they wanted to keep the image of being of a kid being able to just buy this and use it like a toy, basically. Use it to learn, use it to do whatever. Do what I did, basically. I got it when I was like 10, like before I even built my first computer, and I installed Linux on it. And it was basically my first ever introduction to my own like computing and stuff. Raspberry Pi is a huge reason why I'm even into computers the way I am today. And they put out a statement that they weren't making enough money to be able to like sell these things at a price that kids like me would be able to just buy them and be inspired by them and learn. And like, yeah, I get that they want to keep that business model, and I have no idea what their financials were like, but if they simply couldn't sustainably sell these for a price that they wanted to without shareholder money, then I get why they went public. But
right, you're not left with a lot of options at that point.
Yeah. Well, they certainly have plenty of investor money to... Here's the thing. Are they going to actually use the millions of dollars of investor money that they just got to now be able to sell their things at a cheaper price? No. They're going to be able to sell... They're going to do whatever they can to sell their things with bigger margins.
Right.
That's just how it's going to go. So, like...
It's how it has to go, basically.
Yeah, it's how it has to go. Their investors are relying on it now. It's like, it's just the enshittification of shit. It just always happens, and it's so sad. It's so disappointing.
There's no other word to describe it. Enshittification.
Yeah.
I'm gonna reel back the conversation to something we were talking about earlier, because
I've been ranting for a while.
You've been ranting for a while. Very interesting stuff, though. So we were talking about like battle pass or like season pass games and things. And I heard on another podcast, the Distractable podcast, if you haven't checked it out, you should check it out. It's a good podcast. they were talking about that very topic. And one of the hosts on that brought up this point, and I wanted to gather your opinion on it because it was very interesting to me. He said that he doesn't like the season pass model, but one franchise that should and doesn't, but should have a season pass model is sports game franchises.
Yeah, like FIFA.
Yeah, like instead of having, like Madden 11 and then Madden 12 and then you go up like that, you just have
Like
have
2K.
Madden. Yeah, you just have 2K. You just have Madden, and then the new roster comes in every season instead of having to buy an additional whole other game.
I mean, that's the running joke, right? Is that like FIFA and NBA 2K and Madden and these games are just the same game every year.
It's the same exact game, just with a new players basically, and maybe some new like
there's only so much you can change about a sports video game when you're confined to the rules of the sport. Like there's not much innovation you can really wiggle around with in there after 20 years of making the same game.
So I thought that was interesting. I was like, I agreed. I was like, well, I also don't like a season pass model, but maybe that's a good like implementation. Something maybe not, and obviously more games like that. Games that there doesn't need to be the next innovation. They just swap out characters or what have you. Well, that was interesting.
That is. I think EA runs those games. They wouldn't do that if it weren't the most profitable way to do that.
Right.
I would think. So it makes you think, sure, okay. Obviously, there's an assload of reused assets from game to game. So they're not developing a new game from the ground up.
Right.
Every time. So it's not like they're making a new game every year. So
and not that I would even ask them to. I mean, to make a new like novel game every single year, that'd be quite the feat. That's
a lot to ask for.
That's a lot to ask for. So like I get why it's reused and all that, but why do I gotta pay for a whole new copy of a whole new game if it's not gonna be any different, really, except for the little changes that they do make?
I mean, they could do. So let's say they do implement a seasonal live service game in the next FIFA or something. Do they release roster packs every season, every soccer season, football season, and just release them at the same price as what a new game would be? Or do they like trickle in new players?
Yeah, I guess that's kind of the thing is like, if people are going to buy the full price game when it comes out anyway, why would they lower the price at all for a new roster pack?
Yeah,
I guess that's kind of true.
If they're not putting that much development time into the next game, because they obviously aren't, then like why not?
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know. I don't honestly play a lot of sports games. I think they're fun. I've played a lot. You know what game that I played a lot of? And I know I think I've talked to you about this. I'm about to say I know I talked to you about this, but I might have talked to somebody else. Regardless, one sports game that I played a lot of, and that was NBA Street Volume 2. Do you know that franchise?
NBA Street Volume 2?
Wasn't it? I think that's what it was called. Hold on, let me verify.
Is it like there's the game called NBA Street? And then
NBA Street and Volume 2 was the second volume of it. Pretty sure
NBA Street. And that's separate from like the 2K franchise?
Yeah.
No, I've never heard of that.
NBA Street Volume 2. I played so much of this game, it's not even funny. It released April 28th, 2003. This game
2 years after I was born.
This game is legit. It was one of the most fun basketball games I've ever seen. I've played a couple of the 2K games. They're like, okay. This game, I feel like 2K takes itself pretty seriously. This game is not that. This game has just some like announcer making a bunch of jokes. They got like special trick moves. You got like these like power up bars. You can like you can throw it at the rim and bounce it off the rim and back at you, and then alley oop.
Isn't there a game called like NBA Jam or something like that?
That
is like a joke, a basketball joke game.
There is. I've seen this game. I'm pulling it up now, just to remind myself.
I played it a long time ago. I think it was called NBA Jam.
I think you're right, and they got like the big heads on them.
Yeah.
I've seen this game. I've never played it. I think I saw it because I was looking up NBA Street, and I was like, "Oh, that looks funny," but I'll probably never play it. And that is not the game I'm talking about. But yeah, I've seen this.
I think that I played that a decent bit when I was little, and that was a freaking hilarious ass game.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, are you familiar with the arcade 1-up like machines?
No.
They're like these little. They're kind of shitty actually, but they're like these little miniature like arcade machines, and they have an NBA Jam arcade machine. And it kind of looks kind of funny, and I would never get it, but that's hilarious. Anywho,
I was gonna say one of the games that I'd say the very first game that I owned that I dumped a truly unreasonable amount of hours into. The first game I really delved into for a large waste of my life was Skate 3.
Bro, Skate 3 was so good.
It was I on the PlayStation 3, it was the only game that I played for like 3 years straight. I played it every day for all of my free time.
That's a lot of Skate 3, dude.
Dude, I was truly like, this is the game that probably got me like into the idea of sinking unbelievable amounts of time into a game, because I sunk an unreal amount of time into that game. I learned weirdly enough, one of the best things about that game, one of the things that made that game as fun as it was the glitches.
Yeah.
The glitches was what made that game what it is. Like, one of the glitches that I could easily replicate was if you timed perfectly an ollie, and then whatever the trick name was that you hold the, I think it was a Superman maybe, you hold the skateboard above your head, kind of like in a pen pose. Everything, like, arms are together, legs are together, and your skateboard's above your head. If you ollie and then do that, there's like a super short, like few millisecond window of timing. You will glitch, your legs will glitch underneath the floor and then rocket you up into the literal stratosphere. And that was the one of the funnest glitches ever. And another one was if you're running and then jump, if you're running with your skateboard in your hand, jump. No. Here, it wasn't skateboard in hand. You throw the skateboard away because you have like the force, remember? You can like...
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So you throw your skateboard away, you're running freehand, you jump, and as the freaking millisecond before you're about to touch the ground, you use the force and put the skateboard underneath your feet. And it glitches you and sends you at Mach 17 down the freaking way. And you just fly forward. That was another glitch.
Funny.
It was so fun. I loved that game.
I never got good at doing glitches in that game. I did play quite a bit of that game. It was just so cool, like the idea of a skateboarding game, but also open world.
An open world, yeah, skateboarding game. It was that didn't take itself seriously. Yeah, it was fantastic. Because like the Tony Hawk series, the Tony Hawk Pro Skater series, I got into that a little bit, but not really because it was so linear. There was no like, there wasn't that much. The open world was not like it was in Skate. The even just the skating part was like so much more linear and artificial rather than free flowing and I guess you could say realistic feeling. And that was what was so fun about Skate. And the freaking mode in Skate 3 where it was literally, it had nothing to do with skating. All it had to do was breaking as many bones in your body as possible. That was a super fun mode. Skydiving in that game was freaking hilarious. It was so much fun. And you could get into a ball and spin in the midair.
You know, yeah. The Hall of Meat.
Hall of Meat. Yeah.
You're right.
Dude, that was so fun.
Yeah, I remember because it would highlight for you all of the bones you broke.
Right.
Oh my God. And then you just fall from a ludicrously high height. And then you turn that on. You just the whole body's broken.
Yeah. Yeah. And you could do like starfish pose while skydiving. It was great. Dude, that game might be one of my favorite games of all time.
I think we should play some Skate 3.
What do you think? We're gonna buy a place? It wasn't on PC.
I had it on Xbox, I think.
I don't have a console.
Fuck it. We'll emulate, bro.
Yeah, we'll get an emulator.
And then just
so much fun.
Not be able to play online because of.
There was this guy who was literally a Skate 3 YouTuber. I can't remember what his name was. All I remember was that he had a super deep voice, and he I think he did like a thing where if you donated like $20 or something, you would get a demo of Skate 4 because he was trying to push like EA for a production of Skate 4. And obviously this was like double-digit years ago. And I didn't donate to him because knowing that obviously didn't happen, for all I know, he could have been running a scam.
Right.
But yeah, I wish there was a Skate 4.
That's wild that they didn't make one. I mean, I remember that game being super popular.
I don't think there's a single person on planet Earth that has played that game and didn't find it ludicrously fun.
And you cannot say the same for the new Call of Duty franchise.
No, you can't. I can't find someone that's played any of the recent CODs and thought anything other than ludicrous misery. Another thing I've been hearing, I haven't really experienced this much, but I've been hearing like just multiplayer games in general are just becoming more and more rampant with hackers and cheaters.
Is that a thing?
I don't know. I think the uproar about it has become more of a thing. But I don't know if it actually is more of a thing because I've heard there's a lot of cheaters in the PvP mode of Destiny. I've never come across one. I also heard there's a ton of cheaters in Rainbow Six Siege. Also, I might have come across one, never an obvious one.
Right. Those are both games I don't play, so I don't know. I would assume that it would be more difficult now with all the like anti-cheat systems that are in place.
Yeah, cuz like Valorant, I've heard there's a lot of cheaters in Valorant too. I haven't played that recently either. Valorant has like a kernel level anti-cheat, and like if you same thing actually with Destiny. Like you can't even run so like Reaver Tuner, RTSS.
Yeah.
You can't even run like performance overlays on it. Because they're just their anti-cheat is just like, yeah, there is going to be absolutely nothing associating with this program at all. Like there was actually a raid pro, a Destiny raider. He like did like day one raids and try to like complete raids. Raids are when you have a team of 6 going into a raid blind, it sometimes can take a lot of hours before you figure out what you need to do to actually beat this raid. So usually there's like raid races when new ones come out, like the most recent one. World's First Completion was like 30 hours after the raid released. So, but he was like he was a raid guy, and he had a modding program just simply open in the background of his computer that he used with a different game, and he forgot to close it, and he got a permaban for it on Destiny.
Dang.
It's like it's possible he could have been using that program for Destiny, and he's just denying it. But just by having the program open and not even using it, just Destiny detecting that you have a kernel modifying program on the computer, he got a permaban. So like, I don't know. I feel like getting cheaters is like, I don't know. I feel like there's not that many in the games that I play, but the uproar seems to be just getting louder and louder about it.
I don't have much experience with cheating. I mean, I guess I don't really play a lot of competitive games enough. But, I mean, I could see it, I guess.
Maybe it's also because I usually play the casual modes of these games. I don't play the ranked modes of these games.
Maybe not playing ranked or anything.
Yeah, maybe they're more in ranked, and I just am avoiding them or something. I don't know.
Do people cheat in PUBG?
I've heard they have. PUBG is one of those games where it's really hard to tell if you got killed by a cheater. Especially when the game came out, because there wasn't a kill cam when the game came out.
Oh,
so you just had no idea. If someone was cheating, you just wouldn't know.
You're just like, oh shit, I'm dead. Hopefully it was honest.
Yeah, pretty much.
Dude, so, whenever you and I played PUBG, I don't remember exactly what the context was. I remember we were getting sniped at, and you just like, I don't remember, you just yelled something like, that guy's literally cheating. He's literally... And I don't remember what the context was, but you were certain that man was cheating. Or at least insanely good.
Was it? I think I remember. Was it when we were by like a large rock structure next to like the river?
Oh, I think that's another instance. But yeah. We were by the river, behind the rocks, and it was
the guy shooting at us. Fucking couldn't miss. He couldn't miss. Every time I peek, I see a blood splatter in my fucking eyes. It was insane.
If you backed up too far, he would take a chunk out of your ass cheeks. I swear to God, he would just like shoot your ass all the way off.
There are some guys like that make you think, but there's also just guys that are really good at aiming. There's guys that play these games every day, all day. So like, it's unlikely that they're cheating. There is just really good ass players in the game.
Jesus, that game's wild.
PUBG is so much fun. It's so fun. I love it.
Puts it in perspective for me how bad I am at video games.
Dude, PUBG is one of the games where if you're not good at video games, it's the most punishing with no hand holding. It's so tough. Because the recoil in that game is significantly more than most games. The positioning, holy cow. If your positioning is off and someone peeks you at the right time and you just don't happen to have cover at the time, you're dead. Because if they have cover and you don't, there's very little chance you're going to be able to outgun them.
Right.
It's just, it's a freaking hard game. But those are the games I like. I really like hardcore shooters.
Well, I think it's about time we wrap this up. This kind of became a bit of a gaming centric episode, which I'm totally for. I love talking video games. I love talking me some video games. Let us know in the comments below, what kind of games do you like to play? Is what I'm really interested in. And then if you think that guy behind the rocks was a big fat cheater.
Yeah. Yeah, do you think he was a cheater? He couldn't miss, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, exactly.
Let us know.
All right, guys. We will catch you in the next one. See ya.
Later.